Good Monday morning. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We've had a crazy weather weekend in Kentucky again. Seems like there's been several of them here this year. Um, we've had some mass flooding in Kentucky. You've got just the weather just dumped crazy on us. And we went from flood warnings to a winter weather advisory yesterday. It went from pouring the rain and all of a sudden just switched over to snow, and then it was a blizzard conditions and everything wide out. So just crazy weather. And so this morning, a lot of people's waking up to a lot of our small towns and even bigger towns underwater. So many people's lost their homes and businesses. So just continue praying for us as we continue dealing with that and trying to figure out what customers or family has lost their everything, and trying to see what we have to do to kind of help out with that. And we got on the road yesterday. Renee and I are in Georgia this morning, headed to Florida. We're driving down. We've got the Pro Dealer Group this week, so we're excited about that to get away from the weather. It's not going to be a good week in Kentucky. We're talking single-digit weather, so we're definitely excited about getting down there to actually have some warm weather this week and work on some stuff. But as we continue working on our goals this year, we had a Bible study the other day with my men's groups. I liked there was several good questions always, but one was, do we look and depend on our past achievements and victories to help us with our new battles? And a lot of times we'll think, well, I've done this before and I'll just do it again. To a point that can help us But a lot of times when we're facing these new battles, things going on, it's not exactly the way it was 10 years ago or 20 years ago when we started PDS. There's so much more, digital stuff that we're fighting with that. Even in, as personally, it's like it in life, goals we set, just because, you raced a big race, a year ago, and this year it may not go that smooth because so a lot of times we're depending on that. You still got to train, you still got to work hard, you still got to continue praying and still building to what you're working on. It's just like software at the office we're working on. It's something that we want to get done, just move on with. But there's a lot of things we're having to go into it, and just hopefully everything gets worked out with it. But we can't depend on how it was before when everything was going smooth, for example, that it's going to go smooth this time. So that's something we've got to continue to work on. So think about that. Let's don't depend on necessarily the past that we can do something in the future. Sometimes we got to change it up a little bit. So let's continue just praying for the people around us. Pray for my mom today. She goes for another round of chemo today. And just please pray for Kentucky as we're dealing with these floods. And like I said, now single-digit weather moving in on top of the floods. So let's continue keeping us in prayer, and everybody just have a blessed and wonderful week.